Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Uh, Let me share my PPT so that we can continue. And I want to summarize what we have done in the previous class, starting from the background of Neo-Confucianism. Well, about this, I mentioned the main contents about Neo-Confucianism is a kind of mixture of Confucianism with Taoism, Buddhism, and so on. Started by Song Dynasty, Zhu Dunyi, um, who wrote the book Taiji Tu Sho, in Korean, 태극 도설. And later on, Zhu Qi has written a book, Zhu Qi Anthology, and here you can find the basic contents of Neo-Confucianism. And let me move on. The contents of this worldview, and Tai Chi is the beginning of universe and the principle. And then there is a dynamic and static aspect. It is basically yin and yang. Yin is minus, yang is plus. That made a balance and creates everything. Third, Tai Chi is invisible, and so on and so on. And then I moved to talk about the representative Korean Neo-Confucian thinkers. First, Tae Yi Hwang. And then he had a lot of disciples, and he emphasized the Song and Kyung. And his disciples started a debate called 4-7 debate. And he formed the so-called Yeongnam School, and he was very famous even in Japan. Second person was Yulkok Yi, who emphasized Ki more than Li. And then I explained all the details, how they are different and yet they share something together. And I moved to point out some strong points of Confucianism last time. And first, I told you that there is a love and respect for other people. And that is very good aspect of Confucianism. Also, only taking care of your own and comforting other people and faithfulness, honesty, integrity with a pure heart and free of selfish heart and considerate other people. And the second strong point is that this worldview plans an ideal society. It seeks a very peaceful, well-ordered, and ideal society with those 5 moral rules, emphasizing each one their own responsibilities. Number 3, Confucian worldview stresses the leaders and the people's moral integrity. Here you can see furthermore, and finally, I thought that Confucian worldview helped develop courtesy. Practicing benevolence and propriety is very important, is well known. Okay, so Korea was called the country of courteous people in the East. Now, it's time for us to talk about weak points of Confucianism. So, number one, we can point out excessive authoritarianism. Hinduism and Buddhism are worldviews that is centered around nobles, where the Confucian worldview is king-centered. Therefore, in Confucian thought, there are many non-democratic aspects. The king thus ancestral rights to the heaven once a year, and the feudal laws to the court and other spirits, and ordinary people only to their ancestors, and by doing so, puts ranking to even dead spirits. And this kind of thinking is unfair and hierarchical value system and made democratization difficult. And this has led to many authoritarian aspects in Eastern democracy. Uh, so, number two, Confucian worldview is very reality oriented and politically oriented. Mencius thought of strength of a nation deriving from the integrity of the home is also first train oneself, then order the house, and finally go into politics to conquer countries and the world. And that is basically a political theory. And although academics is stressed, this is but a tool to make a name for oneself, and the thought of contributing to humanity and society is very low. The extremely competitive entrance examination exemplifies such aspects. Number three, the central concepts of Confucianism, Tai Chi, Yi, and Qi are very abstract and vague in their meaning. For instance, Qi needs to live by Tai Chi, which is the origin of all life. But what this means specifically is hard to understand. Therefore, specific life direction for human beings are also vague. Furthermore, Confucian worldview could not develop practical natural sciences and technology, but instead deified nature and could not rightly develop nature. Number four, the value of human beings is determined by their social status. The traditional four classes of society were a caste system during the Joseon dynasty that had a strictly vertical hierarchical system. Scholars, farmers, artisans, and tradesmen, we call it Sa, Nong, Gong, Sang. These are the four classes, and they were bound by their identity and was almost impossible to change one's status. During the Joseon dynasty, the society was centered around Yangban, and those of lower rank were discriminated against. Furthermore, women were discriminated in many ways. For example, education facility like Sodang or Sowon did not allow women or girls to enter, and the chance to receive education was deprived. And furthermore, children of concubines received many discriminations. Number five, family centrism that is extremely patriarchal and puts great emphasis on blood ties. Human beings are born through family and grow up there. But the Confucian worldview gives birth to an occlusive family egoism that uh, caused problems in many aspects of society. Korea is now civil evil customs in politics, economy, and other aspects. Conglomerates, second or third generations, management is receiving quite a few criticisms. Even such Confucian effects came into the church and negative effects have appeared. Number six, the culture that stresses formality and saving face can be pointed out. Basically, Confucian morality is relational morality and is weak in public interest. So the way of the nobleman is only useful to those in the ruling class, but there is no moral standard for the common people to serve the society for common good because of their conscience. Therefore, in such relational morality, faith is important and conscience is of secondary importance. Thus, moral standards for people in a specific relationship develops. The social etiquette for the society as a whole is weakened, and there is no social ethics for the weak and poor. Furthermore, as formality was given importance, there are many other aspects that puts emphasis on empty formalities and vanity rather than practicality. Number seven, Confucianism's positive view of humanity and the world does not help with solving social problems. Confucius said that this world is the best world and human beings are good in nature. So, by cultivating oneself to develop the true nature, one can become a saint. From this aspect, Confucianism is a very positive worldview of reality, and this is in contrast with Buddhism. Furthermore, human beings are always considered a part of the family or country, so the individual's personality is many times denied, and there is a possibility for collectivism where the individual is to be sacrificed for the country. Finally, this worldview is in essence very conservative and is weak when the time changes quickly and social development is deterred. The ideal society is not sought in the future, but in the Yao Shun emperor's ruling period in the past. So it is not future oriented, but past oriented. And this is why Korean society is still very conservative. And in this aspect, the Confucian worldview is not very helpful in reforming social evil and in the development of cutting edge technology. Now, then what can we offer as alternatives to these weak points of Confucianism? Well, first of all, about the excessive hierarchical authoritarianism, we need a more rational, practical, and equal worldview and lifestyle, I think. In the politics, economy, social, and many other aspects, still have some negative effects of this authoritarianism. Various kinds of arrogant and authoritarian attitude or actions of people who have positions of power over others, we call it 갑질 in Korean, are the example of such negative effects. To overcome these, leaders need to remember that true authority does not come from force, but from voluntary respect. This authoritarianism in politics is seen in the imperial president system that has many side effects, and in economy we see that many employees suffer from this 갑질 from the people in the privileged group. In the field of education, teachers and professors abuse sometimes powerless students in various ways, and in the military superiors reign tyrannically over the subordinates. And this kind of way of thinking can be overcome by first being humble oneself and by having a worldview that respects other people in a horizontal and equal way. Second, on the aspect that Confucianism is interested in this world and on getting ahead in society, what can be the solution? First, we can not only criticize the philosophy of first doing self-moral training and home management, then governing a country and the entire world. However, getting ahead in the world and getting fame, in Korean we say 입신양명, and becoming successful, in Korean 출세, in whatever way possible, for example, cheating at school or entrance exam should be punished strictly to prevent it from happening again. So, furthermore, university education should not be stressed so much, and when people who choose to be skilled workers should be treated equally to those who goes to university, then excessive competition would be lessened. The reason why university entrance exam is so heated in Korea and Eastern societies is because of the competitiveness that the success-oriented worldview of Confucianism has. To overcome this problem, we need to abolish private education that is rampant in Korea and make it so that public education is enough and those who goes to business high school are equipped with expert knowledge and technique and get employed quickly and receive as much benefits as university graduates, such issue would disappear. Thirdly, how can we overcome the fact that the main concepts of Confucianism, Tai Chi, Yi, and Qi are so vague? First, needs to be clear who the origin of the word is. For example, in creation worldview that acknowledges intelligent design or designer, there is no division between Yi and Qi, but the world is made by the laws that the Creator gave. Therefore, the law of creation can explain both Yi and Qi and Tai Chi, and that they are mutually supplementary. Then there would be no conflicting aspect, I think. So if we see the history of Korea, Joseon dynasty was governed by Neo-Confucianism, was divided by what was called the 4-7 debate, not only academically but also politically. And this led to the decline in national power, and Joseon fell into the hands of Japan. This is because the Neo-Confucian worldview was very abstract and did not help with the day-to-day life. 실학, a practical science, was later formed, but this was not able to change the course of history in Korea. So the country became unprepared for external invasion, and the sovereignty of the country was taken by Japan. Therefore, Confucianism's theory of universe is acknowledged academically, but there needs to be a more practical worldview for everyday life. Fourthly, the biggest weak point of Confucianism is status and gender discrimination, and these must be abolished. In a modern democratic society, freedom and equality are basic values, and this is supported by not only biblical perspective but many other worldviews. Furthermore, it cannot be denied that gender equality was greatly enhanced when missionaries came to Korea and made schools for girls. The class system was abolished and everyone is created in the image of God. And so one should not be judged by their appearance or by their status. This is why during early 20th century, many Confucian leaders and ordinary people became Christians in Korea, and why Korean society was able to become democratized and modernized. However, even to this day, there are still some aspects of the class system and discrimination between male and female, for instance. Therefore, in various aspects, there should be laws that can help women to get skilled and give them chance to advance in various fields. And also, regular staff and temporary staff are class-like systems that should be changed so that whoever works hard can reap the benefits of their work and make a just society. Furthermore, people of higher social status should be more responsible and like noblesse oblige contribute more to society. Fifth, family centrism that is extremely patriarchal and puts great emphasis on blood ties should be replaced with a worldview that seeks equality. Although human beings are born through family and grows up there, but it's also a part of society, and closed family egoism should be overcome and stress that the society as a whole is a community. In politics, on the basis of the separation of legal, administrative, and judicial powers, the democratic politics should be developed by keeping each other in check and balance of power, and in economic area, nepotism should be abolished and management specialists should be implemented more often and make the companies more public centered. To do this, leaders of conglomerates should respect their employees and should strive to live together. Of course, take care of the family is the responsibility of the head of the household, and as a family member, but it becomes a problem when taken too far. A teacher at one school leaked test answers to their children and raised their scores illegally to get into a good university can be one such example. The leader of a conglomerate promoting relatives and taking a chance away from those who really deserve the promotion is against the principle of equality. So when every member of society seeks to restore fairness, this weak point can be overcome, I think. Six, the Confucian culture that stresses formality and face saving should be replaced with common sense over relational morality. And ordinary people should be encouraged to serve for the public good and do good according to their conscience should be stressed. Furthermore, a worldview that puts more focus on the conscience rather than face saving should be spread so that in all of society, public etiquette and responsibility should be heightened so that the weak and the poor are given consideration. In addition, rather than form, practical aspect should be sought, and empty formalities and vanity should be removed. The formalism and base saving culture of Korean society can be seen in the love of expensive foreign cars and luxury brands. There are too many cars compared to the size of the countries, but people love big and foreign cars. This is because there is a thought that you cannot be respected if you ride a small car, for instance. But the value of possession is thought in Korea to protect their identity, not the value of being themselves. Buying high luxury, expensive brand become so popular that recently it has been reported that the luxury market in Korea has become bigger than that of France. From this, we can see how strong rookism and empty formalities and vanity in Korea. We need a worldview that considers the environment and live modestly and take care of the weak and the vulnerable. 7. Confucianism's positive view of humanity and the world does not help with solving social problems, can be solved by pointing out that human beings have goodness in themselves, but also have the fallen nature of sin. Also, looking at reality positively is good, but denying the personality of individuals and forcing individuals to suffer for the country, the dangers of collectivism should be noted. To overcome this, we need a worldview that acknowledges individuals' life and value. At the same time, a strict law system should be implemented so that such values can be practiced. Among Confucian thinkers, Sun Tzu claimed the theory that human nature is fundamentally evil, but mostly there were more positive worldviews than negative worldviews. Especially in Korea, there are many traffic accidents from drunk driving, for instance, but the penalty is very soft and weak, and the fine is very lower than other countries. So many people are not afraid of the law. So a stricter and heavier law enforcement is necessary to awaken the citizens and reduce innocent loss of lives. Finally, Confucian worldview is in essence very conservative and is weak when the time changes quickly and social development is deterred, can be solved by changing the past-oriented worldview to a future-oriented worldview. Confucian worldview is still very much active, influential in Korea, and so the society is quite conservative in nature. And this is blocking the process of reformation or transformation and getting rid of the negative. And therefore, a realistic and reformative worldview is necessary, and development is needed not only in the field of advanced scientific technology, but also toward a more mature society. Actually, Confucianism has many aspects that help the ruling class to maintain social order. But on the other hand, when those who were discriminated tried to make a reformation, they were strongly put down. The famous story of Hong Gil-dong in Korea shows this point very well. To develop one society and reform it, those in power need to, rather than claiming their rights, show consideration to those in need and listen to them and sacrifice themselves. Then they will receive true respect. Well, these are the references I have consulted, and this is the end of my lecture on Confucianism. And this is the contact info again. So if you have any questions, you can check here. Thank you so much for your attention, and we will see you next time.